Hello, and welcome to Government Unit 3, pages 32 through 33. I'm going to try to keep this video super short because there's another 5-minute video that I'd like you to watch in relation to this that will explain one of the concepts. It's got some other stuff in there too. It's a funny video by a funny man by the name of Stephen Colbert. But first, we've got to get through my stuff. Alright. To start off, we're going to be talking about the Electoral College, but to get into the Electoral College, and before we just talk about what that is, we need to understand what the census is. The census is, every 10 years, there's this massive epic head count to find out if we have the proper amount of House districts. There's supposed to be about 575,000 people in a district. If you take the entire population of America and divide it by 435, which is how many House representatives we have at the moment, you get about 575,000. Now, that's not a precise number. It can be close to it, but that's about where it needs to be. If it's too much bigger than that, as reported by the census, then it needs to be chopped up and shrunk, and people move to a different district, redraw the lines. Or you could take the district and make it bigger. Maybe merge two of them that have shrunk to be too small for 575,000, so you could add them together. And all kinds of other ways to try to make that work. And the Congress can redraw districts any way they want, as long as there's 575,000 people. Now, the problem with this is that because as long as they maintain that number, they can draw any way they want, there's a lot of political power in that. That's one of the reasons that you may have noticed in one of our activities in class that maybe there's only 26% of people are Republicans, but half of the representatives are Republican. Well, part of that's through gerrymandering. It's a very controversial thing about how to draw lines to maintain power, even if you don't have a lot of people voting for you. To learn more about that and to understand truly what gerrymandering is, there's a really funny clip from the Stephen Colbert Show. Go to Symbaloo, click on his face. It's right. It looks just like the one on screen, and watch that video after this video. Next slide. The Electoral College. So the census not only counts up population determined, do we have the proper amount of representatives, and are we, are they equally balanced representation-wise? It also determines how many electors go to the Electoral College. What is the Electoral College? Well, this work is kind of complicated. See, you vote for president, you're not really actually voting for president. You're actually voting for this team of electors. And when you vote for, say, Barack Obama or John McCain, or in the last election, Mitt Romney, you're voting for someone else to vote for them. I know, it's kind of strange, but you're not voting directly for them. In fact, it has happened in history that 3 times, in fact, where the person who won the presidency did not have a majority of people's votes, but because they had enough electoral votes, that's what determines who's president, not your vote. Your vote does not determine who wins president. The Electoral College does. So, the goal is to get 270 votes. Each party, Republican and Democrat, and all other parties too, but they kind of don't get enough votes to matter. They pick a number of electors that is equal to, in each state, number of representatives plus number of senators. So the number of senators is always 2, plus the number of representatives, which is always at least 3. So each state gets at least 5 electors or more. That's how many electors a state is worth, and each party will select a number of electors for their team for that state. And they do this for all 50 states. Still with me? Okay. Now, when you vote for a candidate, whatever candidate gets the most votes, all those electors from that presidential candidate's team now get to actually choose the president. Now, those electors take a pledge when they receive this job to vote whatever the people say. But they don't have to. So let's say California. California has been a very strongly Democratic-leaning state for a long time. A Republican has not won the state for president in many years. So what usually happens is most people vote for a Democrat, and the Democrat wins all the electoral votes in the Electoral College. Okay, but remember, they're voting for electors, so it is possible those electors, even though vast majority of Californians are voting Democratic, it is possible those electors could say, well, I pledged to vote where the people wanted me to, but I don't feel like it. I'm not going to. I'm going to vote for the other guy that nobody wants. And there's nothing wrong with that. Well, there's something very wrong with that, but it's not illegal. It's totally legit. That's how the presidential election system is set up. All other elections that you participate in, you vote for whoever you want to win, and the guy or girl with the most votes gets elected. Not for president. You vote for electoral voters, and then they vote on who's going to be next president. I am not making this up. You don't vote for president. You vote for someone else to vote for president, and they do it, and that's what's called the Electoral College. It's not a place of education. It's just a meeting place for these electors to come together and vote whoever they pledge to. Now, they always have. No one has ever broken their pledge that we know of in history. So far, it's worked out. But it could go against us, because there's nothing stopping them. They could just do it. Because they're not required to vote for who they pledged for. Because again, it's happened 3 times. Rutherford B. Hayes, George W. Bush, both won, and John Quincy Adams. All 3 of those guys all won the presidency, even though they did not get as many votes as the other guy from the people, because they figured out how to win electoral votes. And a big part of that is gerrymandering, which hopefully you'll watch the video on. Okay, I'm sure you will have lots and lots of questions about that in class, because that's probably blowing your mind, and it's probably confusing. And it is confusing. A lot of people don't know this, don't get it, and don't understand it. But you need to for the test. So, and the essay that you're going to write. So don't forget the Edmodo quiz, complete the textbook assignment, Unit 3, pages 24 to 31 and 34, using the textbook. Watch the Stephen Colbert video on Subaru. See you in class.